Hello, hello, alive, we are. Let's see. Oh, who's here? Hey, Cody, drinking to World Cocktail Day. At this point, I just have my blood orange juice, but I'll drink to that. I fibbed a bit. It's not just blood orange juice. I put half a shot of my chili liqueur in there to give it a bit of zing, and it works. Give zing. Alexander, you want to hear about the cocktail? Well, yeah, it's Mrs. Angry's idea. I made a shut the fuck up video the other day for the first time in a while, and she told me you should have a cocktail called that, and she got very excited at the idea of me making a cocktail called a shut the fuck up. So it's going to be just all the overproof spirits I have behind me. That's about half a dozen out of that huge array. About half a dozen of them are 100 proof or more, which is 50% alcohol or more. And I'm just going to mix them all up. And it's the drink guaranteed to do two things. One, get me in the mood to shout at someone that they need to shut the fuck up. And two, if you have two of them, you will be shutting the fuck up because you will be gone. One sort of gets you angry, and two is just going to calm you right down, as in render you unconscious. So, yeah, it ought to be interesting. I'll warm up a little bit before I make it. Hey, Daniel, how's it going? Glad you like the sound of that, Alexander. This is why I've got my cocktail making clothes on. I've decided this is my thing for my cocktail channel. I'm dressing up a bit, wearing a different tie each time because I have a very large novelty tie collection from when I had to wear a tie to work. And hi, Annette and Holly. I'm glad you think Mrs. Angry is awesome because she most certainly is. You missed approximately 30 seconds, Daniel. So all is well. Aidsy should be here soon. I texted him and he's like, "Oh, good, I'm on it." But as we all know from experience, that means his appearance may be any time from now to half an hour or even an hour from now, if unforeseen circumstances arise. But yeah, hopefully he will be here. He can keep you company when I'm making, because I'm going to set up my camera and do a video for my cocktail channel while we're on live. So you can get to see me with the whole messy process of making a video and having to do multiple takes and all that sort of shenanigans. Yes, I promise shenanigans will happen. So that's something to look forward to. I think should I put some fruit juice, grapefruit juice? I've got some grapefruit juice. I should put some grapefruit. Just randomly, that just came to me. I got some grapefruit juice for something else, and it's probably going to hang around for a really long time. Or should I make it with the blood orange juice? Maybe I should make it with the blood orange juice because that will make the drink really bloody. And then I'll probably do the milk clarification anyway. It'll be a completely different color. G'day to you, David. I hope you're well today. I hope everyone's well. All the strangeness of the world isn't affecting you too badly. I know it's different for different people. It's different on different days. It's okay to be a bit overwhelmed, or even just a bit down, just a bit flat. It doesn't have to be something extreme. You don't have to be really happy. You don't have to be really down. You know, it's just okay to be. I'm just here. It's just meh. It's a meh day. It's neither up nor down. It's just there because it affects everyone differently. Affects us differently on different days. I had a perfectly reasonable day today. I think it was it just last night or Monday night when there was a brief discussion about how I had not made. No, it must have been Monday night, possibly Sunday night. discussion that I had not made a pre-recorded non-cocktail video for 2 months. And I freely admitted it was because coronavirus made me feel a bit weird, because I'd just been making videos about the coronavirus because I couldn't think of any other news, basically. And we came up with the idea to do a really shouty one, a shut the fuck up, to the idiots at the protests who peddling some garbled message that's a really fucking weird combination of coronavirus isn't real, we don't have to have isolation rules, 5G causes coronavirus, and it's all a scam for Bill Gates to inject us with a mind control drug under the guise of a vaccine. But yeah, they're just such complete fucking idiots. I don't see any value in engaging with them. So I'm just like, yeah, just shut the fuck up. Except I shouted a lot, which was fun because I hadn't done that for quite a while. And then I had an impulse like, oh, I might put the video up today because I'd edited it. And I was lucky I played it back because the fucking audio was out of sync. So I had to re-render it. And also it showed me that, because when I shot it, I planned to put it up for Friday and have it as a TFU Friday video, even though I don't say the thing. But I said, hey, here we are on Friday. And I thought, oh, that'll be a bit weird if I put a video up on Wednesday where I say, here we are on Friday. I guess I could have done it. It's not a big deal. But yes, and I also realized the audio was out of sync, so I had to re-render it. So it'll go up on Friday. The shut the fuck up video will go up on Friday. Yes. Oh, David, you saw Trump being 8 points behind Biden in polls. Polls are absolutely meaningless. I'm just bracing myself for Trump to absolutely slaughter Biden in the election. I just have no faith at all in the American people. Also, Biden is shit. Biden is shit. Because you think dickhead protests undermine the value of actual meaningful protest, civil disobedience. They're not smart enough for that to be premeditated. Although I did notice Scotty from marketing, mealy-mouthed, shit-eating cunt that he is, going like, when people saying, oh, what did you think about these absolute fuckwits and their anti-lockdown protest? And he goes, oh, people have got free speech. You know, so when large groups of people hold a peaceful demonstration on something that, you know, is of actual existential importance to human civilization, i.e. climate change, he rails and spits and calls them troublemakers, and the, you know, cops should be, and the cops did just beat up completely passive, non-violent protesters. But when they're his fuckwit voting base, he's like, oh, free speech. Oh my God, he's a piece of fucking shit. He is just the fucking worst. He's waiting for Trump to get the Rona. Well, everyone else in the White House seems to be getting it, so who knows? Hey, Keiko. Oh, yes, COVID hell in the UK. Yes. Yes, you've one of the worst records of European countries, and not just a lot of people dead, but a really disturbingly high fatality rate for the number of infections, like about 15%, which is absolutely horrifying. Yes, and starting to ease lockdown. We are just fucking sleepwalking into the same second wave that happened with the 1918 flu pandemic. 25 million people to 50 million. Somewhere, it's one of those ones where you can never actually be sure what the number is, but 25 to 50 million people. Not good. Not good at all. The parallels between now and the 1918 flu are seriously disturbing. Look, we don't know what's going to happen. Anyone who doesn't think it's going to get much worse than it is now, is quite the optimist, or just like supremely willfully ignorant. But we don't know. We don't know for sure. Fucking anything could happen. It's just that what's likely to happen is very, very bad. Ashley, good evening, sir. It is, I hope, a fine evening for you. It has been a fine evening for me, cruising on by. Maybe we get the depressing stuff out of the way at the start. It's kind of impossible to have a conversation, particularly a long conversation, like a 2-hour one like we have here. And it's kind of impossible to not end up on coronavirus as a topic of conversation. Just because, it's the thing. It is the big thing that's happening. Can I find a non-coronavirus news story that's interesting to talk about? What is that symbol? It's really weird. Okay. We've got a trade war with China, so that's a really fucking good one. So, yep. Got people going back to work on really shitty, crowded public transport. Oh, apparently Melbourne's going to have the coldest day of the year so far. High pressure system passing over Melbourne at the end of the week. Clear skies, light winds. So, yes, tomorrow morning. 7 Celsius tomorrow morning and 5 Celsius on Friday, or lower even. And our average minimum in May is about 9 Celsius. So it's noticeably below the average. It's going to be cold. Cold mornings tomorrow and Friday. Okay. At least that's not coronavirus related. So, David, some expert said, look, ultimately, if we don't get a vaccine, this is so contagious that ultimately, whether it's a year down the track or whatever, it's extremely likely 70% plus of the population will contract the virus. So if by the time that happens, and if we didn't have isolation rules, that would have happened certainly within 6 months, probably a lot sooner than that. And the hospitals would have been overwhelmed and we would have had an absolutely horrific death toll. We've avoided that so far. But yeah, it's basically inevitable if we don't get a vaccine, and there's every chance we will never have a vaccine, then ultimately probably at least 70% of the population would get it, whether that takes a year or 18 months or whatever. It's just a question of being able to manage it. If it takes a year to 18 months for that many people to get it, that's manageable. Shorter term, not so manageable. Hey, Stephen, you're freezing in the northeast and Ramp Shark. You miss skateboarding. Oh, well, it's good that you care enough about your parents to not indulge in high-risk, non-distancing activity. How's it going, buddy, mate? Having a bad day. Oh, my fucking God. Jesus. How lame is that? Yeah. That's got called a baby killer because someone found out you're a retired soldier. That's third fucking fourth-rate pale imitation of you started to get into the pineapple juice. Good. Hey, can you hit the button on the stove while you're up? Because it's making that annoying buzzing noise. Thank you. Household things happening here. Dude, well, you said things you shouldn't have. They said things they shouldn't have. That's like the weirdest thing is there's that folk legend of returning Vietnam soldiers being abused at the airport when they came back and stuff, which is actually completely untrue. There have certainly been, well, yeah, you got harassed by some fucking idiot today. There have been incidents, certainly at memorial services in subsequent years. Apart from actual straight out like war criminals, I reserve my ire with relation to war for the fucking politicians who cause the fucking wars. The idea of attacking individual soldiers for the existence of conflict is ridiculous. You know, unless they're sort of assholes who seem to be far too common in the American armed services, who get turned into heroes when they're actual war criminals because they murder civilians for fun and boast about their racist motivations for doing it. Yeah. So I'm sorry you had to go through that, mate. All I can say is someone who would pull out that tired, pathetic line is a really sad, low-value individual, and I believe they know it. To say something that dumb, I believe, is basically a flex of their own self-loathing, just trying to cause conflict. They know they're not worth much, and it came out like that. Yeah, I often think people who do dumb shit like that, it's just their own self-loathing coming out. So, yeah. So, mate, I hope we can just like have a cheery chat and fucking dickheads who do it. Ooh, the Whiskery in Geelong. Oh, I've been there. I think I've been there. That's out past Geelong. This is a story that interests me. Oh, yeah, okay. I'm going to pay for the Geelong Advertiser. Get fucked. GP set a lockdown challenge. Can you go 2 days without a drink? No. Next question. Move on. Well, yes, I can. Not going to tonight, but anyway. A depressing story about a road fatality. Well, at least it's not coronavirus. University union agrees to wage cut to save 12,000 jobs, which is the coronavirus-related things. Some Chinese doctors have a darker skin color after suffering COVID-19. What the hell is that about? So much we don't know about it. Stories about Donald Trump is a fucking dickhead. And poor Dr. Fauci in the US trying to say, it's going to be really fucking bad. You open everything up too soon. It's going to be really fucking bad. And no one's listening to him, so it's going to be really bad. Ugh. Oh, okay. See, here's the news I want to know. Capitano is now delivering Negroni and Bellini Magnums to go with your deep dish pizza. That's the news we need to hear. Oh, wait, AZ's here. I was looking at the news page, buddy. I didn't see you.
Not at all. And I was actually listening to the news page, and I was going, Capitano's got the deep dish pizza going. No.
Yeah. Which, this is the news we need. The restaurant's takeaway pies are even better when paired with a 1.5 litre cocktail. 1.5 litres.
I mean, that's hot. That's taking home isolation.
Yeah, that's take home ISO meals. Delivers wine, square deep dish pizza. Large format batched cocktails. Team wanted to keep reputation going, selling 1.5 litre bottles of Negroni 750 ml and 1.5 litre Bellinis, and 750 ml serves of Limon Frizzante, which is a fermented lemon cordial, dry vermouth, cherry, salt, and bubbles. I don't like any of them. Oh, and there's some intriguing. This is more mine. 200 ml serves of a smoked quince Rob Roy. So that's a Scotch-based cocktail with smoked quinces in it, an olive oil martini, a tiramisu milk punch, and a sweet, savoury old-fashioned with peanut butter and miso soup. That is some strange and interesting stuff.
Has it got any Gay Gordon in it?
Well, you get some into Gay Gordon is the real question. You get you get a 1.5 litre Bellini into Gay Gordon, and you're going to have a gay old time right there.
You're going to have a gay old time, and you're going to have Her Majesty the Queen coming up and saying, "I'll dance with you. I'll dance with you." If you've got a bit Gay Gordon in it, I'm fucking right up there. Let's do it. Let's do it with a corgi. Let's do it with a corgi at our heels, snapping and yapping for the fun of the dance. For the fun of the dance. And that's what I have decided to call Her Majesty's autobiography, For the Fun of the Dance.
Oh yeah, no, that fits.
And she's basically going to be looking back on years of the good times, the bad times, the hard times, but most of all, it was the fun of the dance.
Yes, yeah, that's good. It's like the story. There was a story a couple years ago that suggested basically both the Queen and the Queen Mother, when she was alive, were basically half cut all day, because it would talk about them having a breakfast cocktail and a mid-morning cocktail and 2 drinks with lunch, and then one in the afternoon, and then one with dinner and one after dinner, which would mean they were half pissed the entire day. But then I saw a clarification. It was the actual, retired member of the royal household that went, no, fuck, that was like someone taking something totally out of context. I said in an interview, they said, what do you serve the Queen? And what he meant is sometimes they would have one in the morning. And if it was a morning, they'd like to have this. And sometimes at lunch, they'll have a glass of wine or a gin martini or whatever. Sometimes in the, before dinner, they'll have another gin, and sometimes they'll have a champagne. And someone translated this as every single day they have this in the morning and this at lunchtime and this in the afternoon and this at dinner and this after dinner. And he's like, no, that's not what happened.
Bloody in the Falklands War, the Ark Royal, which had the Harriers on it, hosted a flight of Harrier 2 planes from the US. They were there strictly as observers because they were allies with both. Okay.
Yeah.
But they accidentally shot down a couple of Argentines. Fucking whatever. Anyway, what happens on English boats is that they're not dry. They have alcohol on them. And on American boats, they're dry boats. They have no alcohol on them. And when you're on a English or a UK boat, you're expected to have a formal greeting to a guest nation, and you're expected to supply proper drinkage all night. And there's been stories of young American pilots trying to fucking dive overboard because they've been fucking shattered, and having young yeomen gently drag them off to bed and clip them in.
Well, until very recently, it was still an official part of being a sailor in the British Navy that you got a daily ration of either rum or gin. That was like till the 60s or 70s. It was only suspended in the 60s or 70s that all sailors got a daily ration when they were at sea. And like I say, they still have the alcohol on the boats, but they don't parcel out like yep, here's your booze for the night. Go get shit-faced and pass out and get up for work again tomorrow.
Yeah, and they only don't do it because it's actually dangerous and physically unhealthy. That's the only reason they don't do it. The fact that the Americans don't do it has been seen by the British to be embarrassing because it basically means that your sailors aren't adults. It's like what they can't fucking decide for themselves whether they want to get shit faced.
Yeah.
Their officers, because these are not the ratings that get this privilege. These are the officers. Officers get to choose whether they get fucked up or not. The other thing is they say, well, you can't have booze on board because it makes the pisshead a passenger. And they go, well, the officers, when they're finished work for the day, that's it. They don't come back to work for 18 hours. It doesn't matter if there's a fucking nuclear war going on outside. They fucking sit down and play PlayStation or fucking think up strategy games. They do not fucking take part in fucking fighting activities. There's other officers to do that. Thank you very much.
Yes.
They've expected to be working so hard during the time that they were fucking working. And these are often fucking Harrier pilots. Being shot at by fucking planes that are designed to shoot down fucking supersonic fucking nuclear carrying bombers. Anyway,
sorry, I'm going to get you to entertain the people while I get set up. I did just want to say a few interesting. Stephen in the chat had chicken and champagne for dinner, which is nice. Yasser in the chat saying, if you ever drink, you have the James Bond martini at the pub. Funny you should mention that. I'm going to be making that soon, not tonight, because we found out a little later this month is Ian Fleming's birthday, and I'm going to make the James Bond Vesper martini, which is a fucking serious drink. It's like 2 shots of gin and 1 shot of vodka and 1 shot of vermouth. And because it was a whole thing about that weird James Bond line of shaken, not stirred. You don't fucking shake a martini. But I'm actually going to do a comparison. I'm going to make a shaken and a stirred and see if I can actually taste any difference between the two. So is that just snobby to say shaken, not stirred? But that's going to be closer to Ian Fleming's birthday. Tonight, I'm going to make, at Mrs. Angry's behest, in fact, she said I should have a signature cocktail called the Shut the Fuck Up. And it's all my overproofs in one drink. And so that overproof gin, rye, rum, Irish poteen, and absinthe, all in one drink.
I know that boss of the house has various different things that he'd like me to get out of my system once and let go. For example, I'm about to go over and help him with some of his bodily functions. Are you ready for me to help you with your bodily functions?
Goodness.
Boss of the house? I'm going to come over help you with your tum. Are you ready for that?
Yes. Aussie Gun Bunny shaking would dilute the drink more. And I don't know. I think snobs just think it, I don't know, it somehow bruises the gin or something. They just think it's wrong. It's just wrong. It's just wrong. But I am gonna do the comparison and see if I can tell you. But if you keep keep the people informed on various matters, I got to go grab a couple pieces to set up my camera for the video. So I'm going to be out for just a minute. So you happy to be in charge there, AZ man?
Yeah, I'm happy to be in charge. I'm doing the last little bits of a text. Got to get this show. This show Show rolling. Rolling. I gotta get me sailing. How are we going? Question mark. And love heart. Love heart. Where's the fucking love heart? It's over here. There you go. Love heart, love heart, love heart, love heart. And back to words. Next line. AG. AG. Now, ladies and gentlemen, while Angry's doing this thing, I want to talk to you about the campaign going on about Adrian's 50th. And we can say Adrian's 50th, but we should say AZ's 50th, because everybody knows that during your life you have big birthdays. Yeah, you have your 20th, you have your 21st, you have your 30th, you have your 40th, you have your 50th. Okay, so during my 20th, I was basically beaten up by a biker gang who mistook me for someone else, and I was in hospital for a little while. Only a really little while. It was only overnight, but I had fucking bandages all over me, and I wasn't allowed to drink. And stupidly, I didn't. Then, when I was 30, I got and lost a job with Rove in 15 seconds in front of my father. It was an interesting experience, I can tell you that. But it was the last long conversation I had with Belinda Emmett, and it was one of the most wonderful experiences I'll ever remember. She was a wonderful human being. Anyway, after that, it was my 40th birthday, and I was in hospital, basically dying. And yeah, I couldn't leave the fucking building, even to have a cigarette, not even to have a drink, or to have a couple of lines of something fun. But no, that wasn't going to happen. Essentially, I got the opportunity to have some pretty shitty birthdays. This birthday, I have decided to buy myself a tool for work. It's going to be a tablet. It's going to be a really, very good tablet, so that me and Angry can do better work together. We've worked out that with old dead laptop, which is going to be a slave, a good laptop, which is old but a good worker, and a tablet, what we can do is we can make fairly quick proposals to corporate entities very fast, and actually very sexily, very well. I'll have to be better and better at Blender, but fuck, what am I doing with my day? Except for
very quick interruption in your story. I'm going to make this video. You have the choice of either I will just turn off my microphone here so I'm not distracting for you, or I can leave it on and I won't be able to hear you, and you can make fun of me with running commentary as I try and make the video. Would it be too distracting if I was just talking and not paying attention to anything? So would it be better if I turned my microphone off, is what I'm asking.
Turn your microphone off, because I don't want to I don't want to drag any attention away from you whatsoever.
Okay, but yeah, and so I won't. You keep talking. I won't be able to hear you. I'm going to turn off the speakers so it doesn't get picked up while I'm making the video. This is going to take me about, I don't know, 10 minutes to make this video. And hi, Abigail. I'm just about to make a video, and AIDS is going to entertain you because that's a thing he likes to do.
He does. He does. And I'm about to finish this intro, which is going to take me about 10 more seconds, and I want Angry to hang out. We're buying, we've already bought actually, a tablet, and we're going to put it in as part of the system. We want you, good people, to pay for it because of my shitty birthdays so far. And we want you, good people, to pay for a plane ticket for my self and my boss of the house to go to Canberra to meet my friends down there for the Canberra party. Because that never ever happens because I'm always in Melbourne because I'm always in hospital. So I would like very much to be in Canberra for a few nights. And so please, I would like you to throw in some bucks. Angry has all the details on that. If you've got requests as to things that I need to do to earn your money, I'll do it. If you've got things that you haven't seen me do that you'd like to see me do, I'll do it. There's a group of girls that do you know those pictures that people send one another on the phone? You know, lately it's been about coronavirus or COVID. Anyway, a friend of mine, I just lost the plot and said, "How dare you send me anti-rainbow flag hate speech on cows?" And it was just cows talking in the field. That's all it was. And they were talking about something completely else, and I completely perverted it. Anyway, I was just fucking around for my aunties, and they loved it. And they showed a couple of their friends, and their friends loved it, and their friends loved it, and there's this whole fucking crowd base of people who loved it was into it. Now I've stopped it since because I've had some real difficulties in my life, but those have ceased. So I'm beginning that up again, and I'm on video tonight saying that if you've got um, meme videos or pictures, specifically pictures that you want me to talk about, please send them through Angry to me and I will respond to them. Not comment about them, respond to them because I am an artist and a social influencer. And I'm hoping that we can get some real world change happening. For example, I'm hoping that I can change my genital. uh, I think I can. I think I can make urethral farts happen that are not painful. You know, guys, yeah, it's about it's about trying. It's about effort. It's about climbing that mountain, fording that stream, about eating that desert. Come on, Australia. There's a big red kangaroo looking at you, and you're looking at him, and one of you is armed to the teeth, and the other one is you. So I want you to think about being Australian, and I want you to think about what it is that we need to be saying about ourselves. And I'd be happy to make those comments. Please, please send me some pictures and I will send you some comments. Probably strings of comments if I get strings of pictures. Now I'm going to go to live comments and read. Okay. Oh yes. My understanding is that shaking causes more water to dissolve into the drink. All right. I would imagine that would be real. Pubs and clubs opening on Friday in New South Wales. New South Wales has always been a corrupt place and been run by the Rum Rebellion since the 1700s, really. Annette Matz has given herself a incognito page and another incognito page. Abigail, evening Andrew, how's things? Not evening Andrew, evening AZ. No, none of that, Abigail. Thanks, Abigail. I am made to feel small and I'm made to feel insignificant. I am going to get really fucking wasted on powder drugs and go dancing naked in the lamplight, and you will see how much significance there is to my dancing and to my body. You'll see, oh my God, look at the man on that cock. What else have we got, David Nail? AZ, why do you hate Canadians? Well, I only hate one Canadian because he fucked the love of my life. And if you are going to do something in your life, right, then you've got to be responsible for it. I don't care what it is. Honestly, don't care. You've got to be responsible for it. And would he would come into town and fuck her, smile and smile at me and be the smoothest, calmest guy ever. And understand this, he played guitar. Okay, is anything else need to be said? He played guitar, and then he'd fuck off, and I'd be the one being left to put together the emotional baggage, and it would take me 3 months to get sex to happen again. And then this fuck would turn up almost on a clock, 4.5 months into the fucking cycle. So he would let me fix up for literally um, fucking fucking literally 3 and a bit months. And then he would fucking turn up, get what he wanted, and then just breeze on out of there like some kind of Canadian shitbag. But then I've met Canadians there that were pretty cool. I met one Canadian who saved my life in a fucking aeroplane. That was pretty smooth. We were in a Cessna, and fuck me, we've taken off. The wheel of the Cessna has fallen off the plane. He's gone round the tower a couple of times, and they've gone, yeah, your fucking wheel's fallen off. And he's gone, ah, that's going to be awkward. Well, good thing I brought sandwiches, was his response. That was his response to your wheels falling off. You know, this is the confirmation your wheels fallen off. Is good thing I brought sandwiches, and the reason was that he wanted to burn off all the fuel. So he went round and round and round and round in circles. And he also did a bit of acrobatics, which then the ATC came on and said, stop doing that. Behave yourself. You are in an emergency situation. You are not to be making it worse. And so He said, yes, sir, and made very long figure of eight loops and made them into a beautiful petal shape to do sightseeing over Melbourne. Those fucking Cessnas have 6.5 hours of fucking fuel in them. If you believe it, 6.5 hours with 4 people in them. And they're not little people. They're fucking fat motherfuckers. Yeah. If you can afford flight travel, you can afford fucking to be a fat motherfucker. And so here we were, driving around. Finally, we've got down to enough
I'm going to
fuel.
talk about the AZ for a second. I finished the drink. It is a beastly color, and it actually tastes really good, which is very dangerous because it's one shot of 50% rye whiskey, one shot of 52% poutine, one shot of 58% gin, one shot of 69% rum, and one shot of 80% absinthe, and some fruit juices. It's very dangerous. I'm going to milk clarify it now, so I'm going to put you back in AIDS's capable hands while I finish doing that.
Okay. Bloody hell. I think we're going to have a very jolly, angry toward the end of the evening, and I am fucking fine with that, frankly, kids. I am also waiting on a phone call for a guy who's supposed to be delivering me anesthetics, and he hasn't, and I'm very disappointed in his work. But he's a good guy, we like him. Anywho, so this pilot, who's essentially a Canadian bush pilot, right, has lost 6.5 hours worth of fuel. He's checked all his instruments, and then punched the dashboard 5 times, right? And we're going, he's lost his mind. And what it was, he said, I'm just pushing all the air out of the blowholes so that all the instruments read true. And he got a radar reading of how high he was off the ground. He did the whole bit. And they said, do you want fucking asphalt, or do you want grass? And he said, I would like the closed runway, please. And I'll see you there in about 45 minutes. Fair enough. We've come to the closed asphalt. We've come round, circled it a couple of times. And there's TV fucking cameras everywhere by this point, getting ready. And what was bothering me was I was seeing some of these cameras going like this, getting ready for us to fucking, like that, getting ready for us to fucking really fucking hit the ground. And so he's come in and effectively he's gone, all right, I've got to watch the ground effect. And he's turned the engine off so low that there's virtually no, people say, oh, it's stall speed, but he's made enough speed so that the speed of the air and the mathematics of the air pressure meant that he could just float on the air above the ground for as long as he wanted, for as long as he needed, while he could bleed off speed and get himself exactly lined up. There were no decisions that he had to make in a hurry, and this was the thing that made him a different pilot to every other pilot I'd ever been with up until that point. Was he didn't have to make any decisions in a hurry ever at all. And then finally he said, "Well, guys, I need to take a dump, so I think it's time to land this plane." And so he's brought this system down, 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 on one wheel, and he's let the ground effect take us along, take us along, take us along, and then he's took the pitch of the airplane down, and then still let the ground effect take us along, take us along, take us along, and then finally hit the brakes on the left-hand wheel, which was still on, and let the wheel that was off dig into the ground, and we spun around in a circle for 90 degrees, and we stopped. And that was it. That was the drama. That was the finish of it. There was nothing else. The fucking all of the fire engines turned up. The ambulances turned up, and he said, "Righto, I want you out, you out, you out, you out, and um, I want you to hand me that blue bag." What's in the blue bag? It's my esky with beer and lunch. And out it came, and effectively what happened was we got interviewed. That no one got injured. We just got interviewed, and this guy just knew so much stick and rudder piloting, and he knew his plane so well that he could do with it whatever the hell he required of it. Even though it was found that someone had literally left a bolt off the wheel so that it fell off. But when we left the ground, it fell off the fucking plane. I would have fucking lost my brain. But he just said, "Oh, these things happen, eh? It's a boot time." I don't hate Canadians. I think Canadians are our brothers. Basically, they're the most like Australians in the world than anything else. They do the same stuff as us, except in the cold. They do the same stuff as us, except in the hot. And yeah, um, I don't like I don't hate Canadians. I just I also envy their ability to have Mounties and to fucking walk across fucking Canada in the middle of the snow. That bothers me. But they've got snow, which means they've got water. So if I could find water, I think things would be a bit different. We'll see what happens in the future.
You know what Canadians apparently do with snow? Because the other thing they have is maple syrup. They're very big on the maple syrup up there. When they've got nice fresh snow, no yellow snow, they go out and they pour a short trail of maple syrup in the snow, and then they get a stick and roll it up because the maple syrup sort of freezes to the snow, and they roll it up and they get this sweet icy treat. Apparently that's a thing that Canadian kids who live in the snowy areas love to do in winter.
Well, what the Australian Aboriginal kids used to do in sort of centralish Australia, you've got Australian honeybees, which are like big ants,
Yeah.
but with wings, and they're stingless. They don't hurt you at all, and they have this really runny, very, very runny honey, and you've got to sort of climb up a tree and drag it out and drag it out by your fingers and lick it. And so, one of the things that you can do with these poor honeybees is that you can effectively get in there and you tie a piece of twine, like you rip a, a, a hair off a wallaby, off its back, and then you lick it, and you stick it on the bee's back, and then you follow where the bee's going, and then where the bees finally landed, that's where the bees hollow is. And then what you do is you pour oceans of salt and citrus powder, citrus juice into this honey so that it coagulates. So it coagulates up, and then you take it out as one mass, put it into a container, and then take it away. And then you leave just enough for the bees to survive, and you keep going. And you give them water. You must water the bees. And then effectively they come back quite happily. And then the honey that you've got, which blows my mind, is you can cut it into chunks and turn it into sweets for the kids.
Keep the kiddies very happy.
So if you're in good, you can have, because they're pink. I didn't know that, but they're pink. If you're in good, you can have a honey. And so I've been very good. Why have you been good? Because I didn't hit Kagamali with a rock.
Yeah.
That's not being good. That's being normal. Why did you hit Kagamali with a rock? Because he had to get hit with a rock. Why? Because he hit me with a rock. Why did he hit you with a rock? Because I told him he was a fat whore. Just because he's a fat whore doesn't mean that you can tell him that he's a fat whore. Anyway, so
there's the honey ants as well. You get the honey pot ants, the ants that gorge on the nectar, and they get this really swollen abdomen that's like this pure honey, and you literally just pick them up and eat the back of their abdomen, and it's this little burst of honey. They're like little living trees.
Them like a zit
around, waiting for you to bite the end off them.
Well, you squeeze them like a zit into your mouth. And
do you know?
You put them back, and they grow again.
Just before I brought them up, I did a Google search to make sure I hadn't imagined it. I'm going, honey ants are a thing. I know that. I learned about them growing up. But wait, that sounds so weird. What if I just got told a bullshit story and believed it? I actually went and Googled them before bringing them up because I didn't want to look like what about honey ants, AG? The ants that have the big thing of honey. And AG just goes, what the fuck are you talking about, you idiot?
Yeah, but you know, me, I would have gone, I ate one of them in 1988 and it was really cool. Because I went on a voyage of discovery of my people for about 4 years.
Was that to a truck stop toilet or?
Yeah, there was that.
Yeah.
And effectively for about 4 years, I went to four different not nations, but shall we call them states within nations?
Yeah.
And they every state in Australia could be a nation. That's the point.
Yes.
It's the United Nations. It's the United States of America. It's the Commonwealth of Australia. Okay, so each state could be its own country. Anyway, so I went to these different countries that were politically run different ways. Why is this important? It's important because politics tells you about resourcing, and resourcing tells you about working and staffing and who does what and for whom and for how much.
Yeah.
And so you learn a lot about who's in charge and what you're supposed to do and who you say sir to and who you don't look at in the eyes. And everyone likes to think that Australian Aborigines are these just, nature babies who live in a circle, and it's not like that. Basically, there is bosses and
Oh,
there's
absolutely. Yes.
underlings and there's big time underlings, and
Yeah.
the big time underlings get treated very badly.
Yeah.
And that's a big secret in Australia. That Australia's treats its blacks really badly, and they do,
Yeah.
and the blacks treat the blacks really badly.
Bit of conflict between nations, yes, and within
And
nations.
and so it's something that we will have to figure out in the future.
Yeah.
But what was really fascinating was
Yeah.
that there was ways and means with which to get jobs done and um, to get politics done.
Yeah.
And you can do things very efficiently if
Mm.
you play by the rules. And if you're low down on the totem pole, so to speak, if you're
Mm.
low down on the feeding chain, then essentially you get to do as you're told,
Mm.
but you'll probably get a white man's education and become an airplane pilot,
Yeah.
which is weird but
Yeah.
useful. Um, you won't become a doctor
Yeah. Well,
because
yeah.
you go on.
I was just going to share while we're talking about this for anyone who hasn't seen. This is actually what a First Nations maps. That's how many nations there were spread across Australia. And as Aidsy was pointing out, within those nations there would be subgroups as well. But each color on that is a different nation that we know of, and there would be states, as Aidsy put it, within those nations where there'd be divisions there. But just in case someone had never seen it, I thought I'd share that.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And yeah, it was a fascinating tour to go on. Because I was the lowest of the low, I had to do the lowest of the low jobs, and it meant picking up wood, it meant carrying carcasses, it meant burning carcasses. Now, burning carcasses was someone has shot a carcass with a spear. You've then got to go and get the spear, put a fire, you gut it, take the sweetmeats or the sweetbreads and preserve them. And then you basically put fire into the cavities and you put the sweetbreads back in and the meats back in over the top. Tie it all up as best you can, give it a stitch or two, and then put the tail back over onto the neck and tie that in, stitch that in nice and tight with a good piece of twine and rope, and you use it like a backpack. And you take 3 or 4 backpacks with you because you're a strong boy, and you take them back to the camp of a night time, and you've got a cooked feed ready to go. And it's a fascinating process to watch this happen. And you've got to be very quick when you start, but you've got to be very metered when you walk home because you've got to give it time to cook, um, and it's got to cook sort of a medium rare, where it's not much blood in it, but it's still soft. And the babies have got to be able to eat it, and the old men and women have got to be able to eat it, and the 80s have got to be able to eat it, and they ate a lot of it. Can tell you that much. And so, yeah, that was one thing I saw. I had to learn how to bring down birds with boomerangs, because if you're a boy, um, essentially getting the smokos, sewing up the kangaroos, doing all the little jobs, then you can't, stop and get a big feed for yourself. You've got to get a little feed and keep going. So you've got to boomerang a bird, and fuck me, for the life of me, I could not boomerang a bird. I got close a few times and I killed a couple of them, but they were just in pain, so I just had to smash them outright. But what I was getting good at was uh, archery, and just blunt archery. The birds just twack, taking twack, two or three out of the flock, and then yeah, skimming them up, getting them ready for lunch. The boys had come home from the spearing, and then they'd have all three or four birds each. Um, thanks, and then they'd leave, and then I'd be expected to um, clean up the whole site because an animal will always smell where there's been a kill, so the kill must be completely obliterated. There must be nothing left of the kill. It must be buried, and there must be no blood signs, nothing. And so, yeah, I I learned to work pretty hard, but I also learnt a nice attachment to the ground and the water and the weather when it was coming. I knew when the weather was going to change, which is going to be great because that meant there was going to be water, and water meant there was going to be fish, and fish meant there was going to be birds, and birds was going to be great because that meant there were going to be predator animals and bigger kangaroos, and that meant it would be an easier hunt because you only have to get one of those big bastard kangaroos, because two or three men carry them,
Yeah.
not just one man. And you remember one spear aims at one point one
Mm.
time, right? If it's a little guy, it's a little guy. If it's a big guy, it's a big guy, but it's the same point and it's the same accuracy. And so these big bastard kangaroos go down, um, and then you cut them up, you cook them up, you take them home. You get home early. You get to sleep early after you have a shower, which is effectively having a tub down in the water hole,
Mm.
and which feels great, by the way. It feels fucking great after a long day, and when the sweat on you dries and
Yes.
it crackles and it
Yeah.
stinks and it stink dries on you, and you work
Yeah.
so hard.
Yeah.
And every now and again, I hit a big roo, like a big butt, a big roo,
Yeah.
and the music come back, and the girls would hear that, and two or three girls would come up with some lotion that was, I don't know what it was,
Mm.
what local herbs were in it, and they gave me a massage so that I could be a big brave hunter in the morning as well. And I was, oh, Jesus, this is not a good thing. If I get caught here, I am never going to get out of this society. I'm never going to get out of this tribe. I know what's going on here, and I like it. I like it way too much. So that was nice. That was very nice. So, you know, every place has their ways. I can only talk about the ways that I've seen and the ways that I've experienced. I've had very little experience with Maori ways because I was too young and a boy, and I was considered not safe enough to throw a toa, which is, imagine a big oar, like a sea oar.
Yeah.
But it's for war.
Yeah.
So you get hit on the end of the end with that, you fucking break the skull. It's not a good thing. So effectively, I learnt not enough, but a whole bunch of shit about how there were different political places, nations, ways, judicial systems. There was the death penalty in 80% of the country. But in 20% of the country, it was considered really wrong. People would try and run to these 20% of nations to not get killed. And they'd find that extradition laws work just as well.
Yeah, if someone says he's not yours, he's ours, they go, ugh.
Well, not only that, fucking the judicial system was that it was like, well, yeah, he really is yours, and he's clearly running away from.
Yeah. I don't mean like they took the word. They literally went like, someone comes in and says he's nothing to do with you, he's ours, and they go, yeah, I guess so. It's a fair thing. But hey, I just weirdly changed the subject completely. I mentioned earlier I was looking for news that wasn't coronavirus news, and going on the Google News headlines failed completely. Even stuff that didn't seem at first to be about coronavirus was obliquely related to it. But I have to share this one. Remember the newspaper from when we were in Bathurst, the Western Advocate?
Yeah.
Yeah, they showed up on the Google News top stories. And I really want to go through this story because it's headlined, "Drinking in Moderation Out the Window Amid Coping ISO Onslaught."
Yeah, that sounds like Bathurst to me.
It does.
That sounds like Bathurst to me. Yeah.
A social media bombardment promoting alcohol as a coping mechanism to survive the pandemic is adding a crushing weight to communities' most vulnerable people, Sober in the Country's founder says. One alcohol advertisement is shown every 35 seconds on a person's social media accounts. A new study has found in analysing posts in a 1 hour span on a Friday night. Not strictly speaking true. If you post or read stuff about alcohol, you will get more alcohol ads. And if you never do, you won't get them. But anyway, this comes after a 36% jump in takeaway sales amid panic buying as Australians entered lockdown in the last weekend of March. Sober in the Country chief, Shanna Wan, who overcame her addiction to alcoholism, said she doesn't have an addiction to alcoholism. She has an addiction to alcohol. She said she knew the challenges living in permanent isolation could bring. Ms. Wan founded the grassroots charity as a private peer support group for hundreds of rural working Australians, many of whom were at high risk of slipping through the cracks in tackling alcohol abuse because they seemed okay. She said she'd struggled many months with endless barrage of booze promotion, and this was affecting communities across the nation.
Yeah. How many times did we see this? How many times did we see this?
Oh, yeah. And in the country, it really is amazing. Sober in the Country is not about prohibition or even anti-alcohol. Our charity exists to raise awareness around how we can better support those our mates who can't safely enjoy a drink in moderation. But right now, moderation's out the window when it comes to this relentless push from big alcohol to get their product at any cost driving a pandemic. Now, again, that evidence is what she's saying is factually inaccurate. You get because I even had this joke with Mrs. Angry, because I get non-stop ads about alcohol on Facebook because I post about the cocktails I make, and I click on some of them. They go, they're offering some bargain, and I go, ooh, what's that? And I click on it, and so they go, oh, I clicked on an alcohol ad. We'll serve him another one. If you don't post about alcohol and you don't click on alcohol ads, you are not going to see alcohol ads 24/7. But if you post about alcohol and you click on alcohol ads, then you are going to get more alcohol ads. So I actually don't mind her message. People isolated in the bush are more likely to get bombed out of their fucking skulls on booze. But she's saying stuff that's just factually inaccurate, which annoys me a bit. But you know, that's as may be. But I just thought you'd enjoy a flashback to the Western Advocate, the newspaper of our days.
I would like you to know that I'm building a fence. I'm building a fence to keep Labor out.
That sounds like an election ad that I heard when I was living there.
It was an election ad that you heard when you were living there. And I checked it out because I thought, oh, you might have left. No, you were still there because we were talking about it while we were being masked characters. We were building fences to keep certain characters out because they were pricks. The humans behind the masks were pricks, and the humans in front of the masks were pricks. And so we were building a fence to keep name out. And one night we got caught doing it.
Oh dear.
Fuck, did we get in trouble over that? And it was like, well, fuck, because it was the superstar. It was the superstar kid was the one that we put the shit on. And he was having a tough night. And we were seen as giving him shit over him having a tough night. And I think saved us by innocently saying, no, we've been doing this for weeks. Basically, there was a lot of shaking of head going, just fuck off, the pair of yous, just go away. There was the three of us, but the third of us never played together. The third of us never played. Who was he? Can you remember?
Oh, God, no. My memory's not that good.
Anyway, we will find out one day, and we will reproduce the show, and we will do it for a very old James Ballard. James Ballard. Bloody what's his fucking name?
I don't know, but I did find this classic one that I'd seen before. This is from 1949. I think this was intended to run at a cinema before the main feature. It's for a country party candidate from 1949, and it's you have to see this. It is an absolute classic.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm standing before you.
The set's just great.
Party candidate. I wish to introduce my family to.
Can you hear the audio?
Okay.
Cool.
My wife.
Is his wife?
Australian.
She's happy to be there. Get off now.
My father, who's in his 86th year.
He's his mate. He's happy to be there. Hey, Dad. How you going? Get off.
My son.
Oh, this is my son. He's happy to be here. No, stay. No, go.
I've just done this to show you that I am no newcomer to the country, that we have been here for 152 years. And
which means that his opposition was some kind of wog.
Yeah.
And he was fucking getting him on those terms.
That guy thought that ad was going to get him elected. That's my favorite thing about it. He
If I can
believes that
find
portrays
you,
him in a positive light.
I'm building a fence to keep Labor out. I will get it for you. It is the best piece of advertising you've ever seen, and it's kept Labor out for
Yes,
years and years and years. Except it didn't,
no,
because Adrian De Gea was in at that point as a local,
yeah,
not as a federal, and no one could touch him. And yeah, I'm building a fence to keep Labor out.
yeah.
Shit, we used to say it at uni. We used to say it in class. Fucking lecturers used to say
Keep Labor out.
Hey?
I'm building a fence to keep Labor out.
Yeah.
So
it was to keep something out. To keep whatever. The actual ad was to keep Labor out.
yeah,
Right? That was the real ad. But if anything happened in the class, you'd start with, I'm building a fence to keep Lucy out. I'm building a fence to keep Pat out. I'm building a fence to keep social dynamics out. And Jesus Christ, it went for about 2.5 years.
Yeah, we were easily amused. Hello to Justin and Stella who've joined us. Safa wanted to know if that guy from the Country Party won. I don't know. Probably. Australia in 1949 was a very strange place, and you could potentially produce that ad and still get elected.
Mate, Country Party, as long as it was west of Lidcombe Station, you were in. Country Party was basically guaranteed a seat.
Yep, I just checked on my milk clarifying drink. If you remember the gross color I kept showing you, that sort of very dirty tap water look, the like toxic waste color it was. It is. It's filtering, and it's almost clear. It's a very light, sort of brilliant yellow. It's going to look like a urine sample again. But yeah, it's gone from that really dirty, cloudy, toxic waste color to this really brilliant clear. But it's doing it very slowly. I don't think it will even be finished. Well, we got 40 more minutes for this live stream if I finish at the normal time. I don't think it will even be finished then. It's dripping through very slowly. That's how the magic works. The magic works slowly. And but yes, the filtering through the curds produces the magic. So I'm going to end up with this drink that is of an absolutely terrifying alcohol content. And get a great result. Oh, actually, Stella, coconut milk would be a really worthwhile thing. Full fat coconut milk, because coconut milk has natural fats in it. And no, stop shaking your head, AD. I've read online that non-dairy milks work for this milk clarification process. You can use
I'm sure they do, but your coconut milk is a milk of the devil.
Oh, no, that's fair. If it's just because it's the milk of the savages who worship the devil, I understand you rejecting it for that reason.
It should be taken to Mount Panorama and given to the god Brock and run over several times by the O5 of reason. Call him King of the Mountain.
Call him King of the Mountain. Yeah, but I think despite Adzie's perfectly reasonable rejection of the juice from the devil's testicles, coconut milk would probably work with milk clarification because it has a fat content.
Absolutely. It really would. It really would. And in fact, if you added a very slight twang of a butter to it, like a cocoa butter to it, but a very, very small amount, the clarification would be even more brisk, and it'd be more thorough.
Yep, I did a quick Google search. Does coconut milk work for milk punch? First hit from a site I trust, liquor.com. In pursuit of the perfect dairy-free milk punch. And they're saying, like dairy milk, coconut milk has, like dairy milk or cream, coconut milk's made up of fats, protein, and liquid. If you pour some in hot coffee or boil a coconut curry too fast, the milk separates and curdles. But for making a milk punch, that's exactly what we want. We want it to curdle. So I reckon that's the next experiment, Stella. Oh, okay. You've barked up the wrong tree by trying to scare Stella off by saying it's the devil's juice, because she also worships the devil and lactose intolerant. So
actually, if you're lactose intolerant, then go for your coconut, but also go for your buttermilk. And buttermilk is not a sorry.
Buttermilk has lactose in it.
Okay. All right. This fuck that right up. There's two kinds of buttermilk. There's drunk man's buttermilk.
I looked it up for you. It is lower, and it's perfectly possible that people with lactose intolerance will be fine with buttermilk. It's
right. There's drunk man's buttermilk, which is a low lactose buttermilk.
No, you're absolutely on the right track.
And there's a high lactose buttermilk, which is still very low lactose. And it was to do with making pastries and to do with poor man's milking, whipping, and curdling, stuff like that. Buttering. It's butter, poor man's butter.
Yeah. Stella also points out ghee has no lactose. Ghee is often called clarified butter because it's actually had the curds removed from it.
Imagine poor man's buttermilk.
Yeah.
Taking that one step further, and everyone said, "Where'd the butter and the milk go?" It's just all gone. It's just this stuff here. It's lovely, but it's just gone. It's just a sweet liquid. I suppose we'll go with that then.
Dude, how good does this sound though? When looking up for Stella about whether or not coconut milk would work, this one, the Paloma Milk Punch, it's got mezcal, tequila, falernum, passion fruit syrup, grapefruit juice, ancho-reyes chili liqueur, and tea. How good does that sound? That sounds really good.
Okay.
Jesus, I'm going to have to try that. That sounds really like a tequila-y, smoky, mezcal-y, tropical, fruity. Oh my God, that sounds good. That sounds fucking amazing. Okay, that's coming up this week, maybe on Friday night. Oh, dude, the other thing, you're pure genius with telling me to do a pan-galactic gargle blaster. Guess what's coming up in like less than 2 weeks? Towel Day for Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy is like the 25th of May. So I can make it on Friday night and have the video edited and ready and put it up a couple of days before Towel Day when people will be on to interwebs searching Towel Day. And so fucking search engine optimization hopefully works in my favor. And plus, we'll get to have a pan-galactic gargle blaster.
My birthday is the 24th of May.
Yeah, you're a hoopy fruit who knows where his towel is.
I'm a hoopy fruit who is often. Oh my God! Oh my God!
Is that a text or a call?
It is a text that is so important, and I have to actually deal with it. I have to leave this house and deal with it.
Okay.
Fuck. Yes. Yes.
All right. So
yes,
are you saying you have to leave us?
yes, please.
That's okay, buddy. Thanks for dropping in.
No. I'm coming back. That's the thing.
Oh, well, I'll wait for you.
I'm going to run, come back,
All right.
and be the guy. I have to just check a thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
All
I'm
right.
checking a thing. Keep
It says
talking to me, pan classic, a hoopy fruit who knows where his towel is. Well, buddy, lately I've been towelless and I've been disgusted with myself, but I'm learning. I'm learning.
That's all good.
I'm going to get him to send 22. Please.
So yeah, this is. I've got to go out and get some coconut milk. As soon as I heard coconut milk worked, I thought, oh, I want to make like a real classic tiki drink, like one with lots of rum and whatever. But this one with fucking mezcal tequila, reposado, which is aged tequila, which I have, falernum, which I have, passion fruit syrup, which I have, grapefruit juice, anti-race liqueur, and tea. My God, I'm doing this. Do we actually have? Okay, they don't tell us the volumes, but I can make that up easy. I can make it up because I've made a milk punch. Yeah, no, this is a thing I'm going to do. So this is another one where he says he heats up the coconut milk. And I haven't been heating up the cow milk. Some people say you should heat up the cow milk. And I haven't been doing it, and it works fine. Then slowly pours milk and lime juice over the top of the mixture, resets the punch for 1 hour at room temperature, 1 hour in the refrigerator, strain it through cheesecloth and coffee filters. Yeah, I think this guy's overdoing it. Also, lime juice. It's got to have lime juice too. So I'm going to mix up mezcal, tequila, falernum, passion fruit, grapefruit juice, chili liqueur, tea, and lime juice. And I have all those things. So that would be good. Stella, it's called a Paloma Milk Punch. And I found it on liquor.com. Oh, wait, they do. Is this the actual? Okay, they have the actual names. Oh, this is a punch. This is for multiple people. I'll just tone down the ingredients. This one, what's this one saying? Oh, this is a different recipe. This has got 6 ounces of Blanco tequila, 3 ounces of Giffard creme de Pampelus rose liqueur, which is odd and I don't have, 1.5 oz of Anchorez verde chili liqueur, tea, a spice mixture, lime juice, grapefruit juice, coconut milk. But yeah, I'll just make up the things. I think I'll do like 2 ounces tequila, 1 ounce mezcal, 1 ounce chili. Yeah, then an ounce of lime juice, an ounce of grapefruit juice, a couple of ounces of coconut milk, about 3 ounces of tea. Oh, no, I'm going to do this. This is going to be good.
Yeah, I think it's going to be good.
Yeah.
I think it's going to work for you. I think it's going to work for the peeps. I think it's going to work for that's sunglasses, which you don't need at this time of night.
Yeah, David's mentioned he heard about a bloke who threw up every time he saw someone with no feet. It's because he was lactose intolerant. Dave comes through with the dad jokes.
Oh, Dave, I realised that I was in trouble when Gold FM was suddenly my radio station, and now, Dave, you've got to start to realise that lactose intolerant is. Oh, Dave. I love him, man. But I can't be seeing the same barbers as you. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
So, yeah,
can't be seen in a barbers. Like, can't be seen in the barbers at all. That'd never happen. Anyway, I'm going to do this, and then I'll be back.
All right, you go do a thing. See you in a bit.
Yeah.
There we go. I'm back. Oh gosh, Gecko's coming in with the dad jokes too. Why can't a bicycle stand on its own? Because it's too tired. So, and ironically, not even a dad, Dave. Well, you're ready for it. You're ready for it. I have to admit, I am a dad, and I am prone to the dad jokes. I am a lover of puns, so I will definitely do a quite laboured pun, and shameless about it. I have to admit, I'll be absolutely shameless about. So I'm still fascinated. I've got to make a coconut milk punch. So this guy says, okay, combine tequila, liqueurs, tea, spice, infuse for 2 hours. Yeah, if you want to go to town, you fucking infuse these things and leave them easy. So yeah, this also says heat the coconut milk. Ooh, maybe I'll warm it. You don't boil. The big thing is you don't boil it. If you're making a milk punch or a milk clarified drink and you are doing the route of heating up the milk, whether it's cow milk, nut milk, or coconut milk, you warm it. You do not boil it. You definitely don't boil it. You just warm it. And the big thing is, remember, add your cocktail mix, your booze and citrus, to the milk. Don't add the milk to the cocktail. Add the cocktail to the milk. It does make a difference. So this one's also saying take 30 minutes for curds to form. Rest punch for 1 hour. Transfer to refrigerator for 1 hour. Strain it through cheesecloth, then coffee filters, or a super bag. Yeah, no, I think, again, they're over. Well, if you strain it first through a cheesecloth. No, I actually really disagree with that. Just strain it through a coffee filter. So what's their spiced measure? Their spiced mixture is toast 1 3/4 ounces of cinnamon sticks, 1 ounce star anise, 1/3 an ounce of Szechuan peppercorns, 1/3 an ounce whole cloves, 1 ounce of green cardamom pods, 1/3 ounce fennel seeds over medium heat for no more than 5 minutes. Wow, that's just getting really, really particular. I'm not going to do that. I'm not doing that. Stella, speaking of Cold FM, you had an oh my god, I'm old moment when they play Smells Like Teen Spirit in the Golden Oldies hours. Oh yeah, when you suddenly realize your rebellious song's 30 years old. And it does my head in when I hear the classics of my youth in the supermarket, like stuff that was regarded as too out there to ever get any radio or TV play when it was released. Now it's a safe golden oldie, and they play it in the supermarkets. That's the one that does my head in. Okay. Gecko's next dad joke. How many actors does it take to screw in a light bulb? 1, the actor holds the bulb and the world revolves around the actor. I love that. That's a good one. That's another good one. I am a big fan of light bulb jokes. You get some really good ones. I mean, ones really silly ones that I love, like how many therapists does it take to change a light bulb? Just one, but the light bulb has to want to change. So you can have quite a bit of fun with light bulb jokes, in my opinion. And one should never be shy about having fun. So we'll see. Now, because my cocktail's still straining, I just have melted ice to drink, aka water. that has a very faint ghost of the cocktail in it. Probably in the shaker too, for that matter. Oh no, Stella, your NBN carrier pigeons are struggling tonight. Oh, Safa, you missed me making the cocktail. The shut the fuck up is just all of my overproof alcohols in one drink. It was 30 mils of 50% alcohol rye whiskey, 30 mils of 52% Irish Poteen, 30 mils of 58% Navy Strength gin, 30 mils of 69% alcohol rum, and 30 mils of 80% alcohol absinthe, and then also some blood orange juice and pineapple coconut juice, and it was pretty good. But it was a really gross. I'm gonna edit this video. Will be edited and up on my cocktail channel next week, probably, because I've already got this week. So I posted one last night that we watched on the stream. I'll post the other one on Thursday night, so you got some ideas for the weekend, because on the weekend, 16:05, that is Chartreuse Day. And so I made a video where I made 3 chartreuse cocktails and quite different styles, and they were actually all really. I still have 2 of them in the fridge. So after talking about what I'm drinking tonight, see, I had a sip of that drink, and then I decided to milk clarify it, which is taking forever. So I'm not going to. I could have one of my fucking chartreuse cocktails, which is in the fridge. David, how many quantum physicists does it take to change a light bulb? Depends on whether you look at it. Nice. Abigail, how many trans people does it take to change a light bulb? 1, but they have to see 2 psychiatrists to confirm they want to change the light bulb. Then they have to go through a 2-year darkness trial to make sure they can live without the original light bulb, just to make sure. If you know, you know. Funny. Okay, yeah. Well, first I'm going to check on my milk clarifying one. So, okay, check this out. I'll share it with you. Don't know if you remember the really gross color this cocktail was. Now it's this really brilliant, clear, again, looking a bit like a urine sample. But compared to the really gross sort of gray, dirty tap water, toxic waste color, that's an amazing color. But that's going to take forever to finish, so this is one of my drinks. Okay. Oh, it's separated a little bit. That's okay. I'll shake it up. I'll just put it in a little glass. I'll look fancy. I'll put it in my Nick and Nora glass because that's a good look. Makes me look sophisticated. Oh, light bulb jokes coming thick and fast. Gecko, how many dancers does it take to screw in a light bulb? They don't screw in a light bulb. They screw in the green room. Someone who knows the industry. Oh, look, true story. A friend of mine from college who worked at the Australian Opera, and he used to tell stories. He thought the dancers were very naive, a lot of them. He told one story where, because of a quirk of how the opera house was built and repurposed and whatnot, to get to a particular electrical board, he was a tech, and to get to a particular electrical board, he actually had to go through one of the change rooms, and there was an emergency and he had to go through while the show was on. So in other words, the change room had a lot of the dancers in there in various stages of costume change. And he just went, I have to do it. And he banged on the door and said, "Close your eyes, girls, I'm coming through." You know, haha joke. You have to close your eyes because I'm coming through. And then he opened the door and went through. And he said, I'm not joking, about half of them had their eyes covered. So I'm trying to remember what this is. This was a bourbon-based or a rye whiskey-based one. I might be able to remember if I look on Facebook at the chartreuse page, because they were posting a whole bunch of recipes. Chartreuse Australia. I'll try and see if I can find this one. So yeah, they've been posting a cocktail recipe a day in the build up to 1605 Chartreuse Day. The Bywater. Ooh, that's rum and chartreuse. Omelette douche is gin and chartreuse and lemon and grapefruit. Chartreuse flip, green chartreuse, creme de cacao, lemon juice, and an egg, a whole egg. That's an interesting one. The Green River, gin, yellow chartreuse, white port. I didn't make that one. The Champs-Élysées, cognac chartreuse. I didn't make that one. I think it's this one, the green. Yes. Okay. This is called a Green Point. It's got rye whiskey, green chartreuse, and vermouth. A dash of bitters. So that's what I'm drinking now, a Green Point. It's been in the fridge for a couple of days because I made it on the weekend, like on a Sunday during the day when I actually didn't want to drink. I just wanted to make a video. Oh, we're still going. David, how many surrealists does it take to change a light bulb? 2, one to hold the giraffe and the other to fill the bathtub with brightly colored machine tools. The variant I heard on that one was, question, how many surrealists does it take to change a light bulb? Answer, the fish. The Gecko, an actor will trip on a line of tape. A dancer will trip on a line of tape that's been pulled up. Oh, Abigail, how many astronomers does it take to change a light bulb? None. They prefer the dark. So I'm going to try my Green Point as a rye whiskey and chartreuse cocktail. Oh, the balance between rye and chartreuse, which is very herbal, and vermouth, which is aromatized fortified wine, the interplay between those flavors. It's like a lot of people only like cocktails if they're sweet, basically. And I like sweet cocktails, don't get me wrong. This is not a bitter cocktail, but it's not a sweet cocktail. It's got a real body and some complex flavors going on. It's really good. Oh, it's really good. The other one is a rum one. So it's like a tiki drink that has chartreuse. And I know because I had a sip of it, it's really good. Abigail, how many computer programmers does it take to change a light bulb? None. That's a hardware problem. Oh, that's from someone who works in IT. Gecko, how many drummers does it take to screw in a light bulb? 2, one to hold the bulb, 2 to turn the throne. You can tell who we don't like, whether it's drummers or programmers or whatever. Abigail, the mouthfeel. This is, and I'll tell you what. Going back to the milk clarified cocktails, like all the milk solids, the curds are filtered out, and so there's no milk color in it. But the whey from the milk is in there, which is it's slightly oily and the mouthfeel change is very subtle. But this one, rye, chartreuse, and vermouth, and just a dash of bitters is really good. Oh, that is great. Just the balance of the flavors is really good. David, how many Irishmen does it take to change a light bulb? 1, and 10 to turn the house around. The old Irish jokes. We told them so much as kids. Justin, what's the punchline to yours? A Canberra favorite. How many public servants does it take to change a light bulb? Need to know the punchline of that. How many dull people does it take to change a light bulb? 1. Oily doily. Is that a reference to me saying the whey it gives a slightly oily is probably a really negative word, but silky, we'll call it silky. The only thing I'm worrying about with the milk punches is a bit of a feeling it makes the drinks taste a bit samey. This one wasn't milk clarified. It's very good. Oh, okay, that's the answer. It's Justin's one. How many public servants does it take to change a light bulb? Answer, you lose count because of bureaucracy. Yep, you can tell you're living in a public service town when you have jokes like that. I had one, my friend Edwin, who's a massive nerd as well, works in IT as well, is always sharing just hugely nerdy jokes on Facebook. And I just find them hilarious working in IT as well. Always making fun of Edwin for being such a nerd. And he had one that was a Simpsons meme. And I think in the original Simpsons, Bart had been put in the special ed class and he like escaped and he was outside at the window of the classroom and he wrote a sign saying something like they're lying to you or, you know, you're being abused. Basically, he's trying to tell the kids in the class the truth. And Principal Skinner comes up and says, Bart, what are you doing? If those children could read, that sign would make them very upset. And Edwin shared this one where they'd recaptioned it and just made it super nerdy. Bart's holding up a sign saying, just because you're using Jira doesn't mean you're agile. And Skinner says to him, Bart, what are you doing? If those project managers could read, they'd be very upset. Which, if you work in IT for a place that's tried to do agile and done it badly, is really funny. But I actually like my project manager at work, so I didn't share it because I was worried he'd think it was a shot at him. And it wouldn't be a shot at him because I like him. Gecko, what's black crispy hangs from the ceiling? An actor changing a light bulb. Nice. Oh, dear. God, we're just hammering it with the light bulb jokes. I love it. I wonder what happens. Light bulb jokes. Probably a whole page of light bulb jokes. How many psychiatrists? We told that one. Programmers? We told that one. How many Unix hacks does it take to change a light bulb? As many as you want. They're all virtual anyway. How many Bell Labs vice presidents does it take to change a light bulb? This one's really specialized. That's proprietary information. Answer available from Western Electric Corp on payment of a license fee. God, that's lame. How many New Yorkers does it take to screw in a light bulb? None of your damn business. How many med students does it take to change a light bulb? 5. 1 to change the bulb and 4 to pull the ladder out from under him. That suggests med students aren't very nice. How many supply-side economists does it take to screw in a light bulb? None. If the government would just leave it alone, it would screw itself in. Jesus. That's an economy nerd joke. Jesus. How many database people does it take to change a light bulb? 3. 1 to write the light bulb removal program, 1 to write the light bulb insertion program, and 1 to act as a light bulb administrator to make sure nobody else tries to change the light bulb at the same time. God, such narrowly focused nerd jokes. Wowzers. What's black and red and sits in a tree? A crow with an erection. I remember that one. What do you get when you make an electrician a carpenter? A bad carpenter. Oh, good Lord. Okay, Justin's got another public service joke. How many people work in the public service? Answer, not many, but a lot of people are employed there. A variant I heard of that was someone saying to a guy in a factory, how many people do you have working for you now? And he goes, about half of them. Sorry. I love it when I make a drink and every time I take a mouthful of it, it's like, fuck me, that's a good drink. The Green Point is a good drink. I really like having variety, not having samey. Or that's why I've got that ridiculous collection of stuff there, because I can make hundreds of different cocktails with that have whole different flavor profiles. Abigail, you love the database one. You are such a nerd. You are such a nerd. I love you. How many IBM? God, this is really old. How many IBM types does it take to change a light bulb? 100. Oh my God, this is so fucking true though. How many IBM types does it take to change a light bulb? 100. 10 to do it, and 90 to write document number GC7500473001, multitasking incandescent source light system functionality, of which 10% of the pages state only this page intentionally left blank, and 20% of the definitions are of the form a blank consists of sequences of non-blank characters separated by blanks. If you've ever worked with an IBM consultant, oh my God, that's so true. Oh, geez, I'm a massive nerd. That's the only reason I'm doing this. DEC employees, Jesus. How many grad students does it take to change a light bulb? Only one, but it does take 9 years. How many professors does it take to change a light bulb? Only one, but they get 3 technical reports out of it. Oh, I'd update this one. This one says, how many net jokers does it take to tell yet another light bulb joke? 1,622. One to tell the original joke, the rest to give some minor variation of it. The modern one, I think, it'd be, how many meme makers does it take to tell you another light bulb joke? It'd be 1,622. One to tell the original joke, and the rest to share it without attribution. I'm a nerd. I made up my own light bulb joke. Gecko, I didn't see the last half of your thing. Oh, okay. It was a double banger, Gecko. Okay, I'll tell it in its entirety. What do you get when you make an electrician a carpenter? You get a bad carpenter. What do you get when you make a carpenter an electrician? You get a dead carpenter. Okay, that is good. Okay, Stella, yes, you work for IBM. You agree with the IBM one? It's true. Abigail, how many Melbourne Uni students does it take to change a light bulb? Just one. The student just holds the light bulb and the universe revolves around them. Everyone does that about someone they don't like. Yes, I'm with you on that. Oh, my God, you won't believe it. Abigail, the next joke on this list of one was, how many Harvard students does it take? And it's the same joke. Wowzers. Everyone hates someone. Hey, I've got a new bureaucrat joke for you. We had a few Canberra bureaucrat jokes from Justin. Here's a new one for you, Justin. How many bureaucrats does it take to screw in a light bulb? 2. One to assure that everything possible is being done, while the other screws the bulb into a water faucet. Oh, that's an I hate public servants joke. How many board meetings does, oh God, I'm going to empathize with this one. How many board meetings does it take to get a light bulb changed? This topic was resumed from last week's discussion, but is incomplete pending resolution of some action items. It will be continued next week. I mean, yep, no, that is a board meeting. Oh, okay, Abigail, I think I found the nerdiest one so far of all these jokes. I think this is the nerdiest one so far. How many IBM CPUs does it take to do a logical right shift? 33. 1 to hold the bits and 32 to push the register. That is a fucking hardcore nerd joke. There's another one from Gecko. How many actors does it take to screw in a light bulb? That's a lamp and don't touch it. Not sure I get. Is that a genie reference? Well, I think AZ's joining us again. Look, he's pulling up a chair. He's pulling up a chair. He's pulling up a chair. He's pulling on headphones. How you doing, buddy? Gotcha.
Yes, buddy. I'm back. I'm
He's
happening.
back.
All
medical and legal advice.
I've had to do the Boston and Manhattan marathons in order to fix up the shit that I had earlier. Yeah. Remember I said I had some shit going on before the show started?
Yes.
That was the conclusion of it then. Unfucking believable. I promise I will get this done for you in 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And 5 hours later, it's like...
We've been telling light bulb jokes while you've been away. And it's remarkable how many of them are just fucking hardcore nerd. Abigail's got one. How many Apple users does it take to change a light bulb? None. You have to replace the whole motherboard.
Why did I laugh? Why did I laugh?
I know.
Everyone knows. Everyone knows.
Okay, here's some Star Trek ones. How many Vulcans does it take to change a light bulb? Approximately 0.999999999 Vulcans. This one. How many members of the USS Enterprise?
No, I got it.
You were just inhaling.
Wasn't expressing any emotion.
Yeah. Okay. This one. How many members of the USS Enterprise does it take to change a light bulb? The answer, 7. Scotty will report to Captain Kirk that the light bulb in engineering section is burnt out, to which Kirk will send Bones to pronounce the bulb dead. Scotty, after checking around, notices they have no new light bulbs, complains he can't see in the dark to tend his engines. Kirk must make an emergency stop at the next uncharted planet, Alpha Regular 4, to procure a light bulb from the natives. Kirk, Spot, Bones, Sulu, and 3 red shirt security officers beam down. The 3 security officers are promptly killed by the natives. The rest of the landing party is captured. Meanwhile, back in orbit, Scotty notices a Klingon ship approaching and must warp out of orbit to escape detection. Bones cures the native king, who's suffering from the flu. As a reward, the landing party is set free and given all the light bulbs they can carry. Scotty cripples the Klingon ship, warps back to the planet, just in time to bring up Kirk and the team. New bulb is inserted and the Enterprise continues with its 5-year mission. I think I saw that episode.
Yeah, I think I saw that episode.
Ooh, this one. How many new... And you have to guess this one, AZ. How many new ages does it take to screw in a light bulb? You're thinking too long.
No, I've already got it.
How many?
I've already got it. I'm just working back through it.
Yeah.
4.
Why 4?
Because of the Time War.
No, the actual answer here, how many new ages? In the modern thing, I think we'd probably call them Instagram lifestyle guru influencers. But how many new ages does it take to screw in a light bulb? The answer is 2. 1 to screw it in and 1 to observe how the light bulb itself symbolizes a single incandescent beacon of subjective reality in a world where we can all aspire to be gods.
Ah, I see. Okay. No, I've got it completely the wrong way around.
Yeah.
I've got it completely the wrong way around.
You did.
Yeah. I deserve to be BHP. No, I deserve to be Rio Tinto, where Fat Girl deserves to be BHP.
Yeah. So Abigail said, how many necrophiliacs does it take to screw in a light bulb? None, because they prefer dead bulbs. So, and then they want to stick their dick in the socket. I don't know. But hey, it's bad.
That's because you know, I like the idea of a future where death is just but a staging post for the next station. You know, there should be big train stations full of the arriving, the dead, and they're leaving, and there should be parties being held at large banquet halls for those in the dying.
Yeah.
Of course, they won't be able to remember shit because they'll be fucking Alzheimer's and shit. But it'll be a fun night, and the people will be fucked up on the great big lines of synesthetic coke that was brought in from Tulgata. So yeah, I'm loving this already. The idea of anyway, it's a philosophical thing rather than a sad thing or a happy thing, and you go somewhere else in a real and physical way, and live a real and physical life that you can remember the lives that you've had.
Yeah.
Because wouldn't it be a fuck up if you remembered the lives that you'd had for the last 1,000 lifetimes, and there was one lifetime that you regretted so much that you had to go back in time and fix it?
Yeah. Well, I'm going to go to bed, but I just wanted to share. I'm still progressing. This is the thing that used to be a dirty, sort of toxic wastewater color, and is now a really beautiful, brilliant, clear color. But it's still going. It hasn't finished, so I'm just going to leave it in the fridge overnight.
So you think, don't you, Angry?
Yeah.
People should donate like fucking crazy.
Yeah. Still haven't set it up though, so I really have to set it up so we can tell them.
Really should set it up. But basically, I want you guys to think about Azy. I want you to think about him missing out on his 21st, his 20th, his 30th, his 40th, and now this time we're gonna fucking have a very simple, very easy celebration of his birth, where there's going to be a simple gift and a simple trip, and that's going to be it. And we're going to get some mates together. You might be among them. And if you are among them, you might be asked to bring some things with you.
Sorry, I'm just going to answer this question before going, though. Gecko's asked with the milk clarification, can you use milk that's gone off? No, that will make you sick. That will make you sick.
Very sick, very quickly, very quickly. Don't do that. And
so David's made up a joke. How many LNP members does it take to change a light bulb? None. They just pay their corporate mates taxpayers money to do it at ridiculous cost. Under contract, yes. They give them $1 million contract to change the light.
And then watch as it fails.
Yeah. And then they blame the public service.
Yeah. Who have to then fix it.
I'm going to go to bed now. So thank you, wonderful, fabulous people, for joining this evening.
You're a wonderful, fabulous human being, Angry. And thank you very much for listening to my panickings today.
Okay.
And I appreciate it. And I appreciate the fact that you let me run away in the middle of the show to deal with this.
That's okay. That's just got us into
what important that I did.
Yeah.
Otherwise, bad things were going to happen.
All right. Good night, everyone. We'll hopefully see you again soon.
Are we on for tomorrow?
That's the plan.
Okay, I am fucking so on for tomorrow.
All righty. Tomorrow is Thunderbirds a go. Catch you folks then if you're available. But for now, we say good night. Bye.